Hello, welcome to another English Sparkling with Tweedy video. Back on the Heath once again, Friday Fizz. Going to open some more Breaky Bottom. Have featured this before. It was Christmas Day, if I recall. Cuve Noella from the 2018 releases. The first time Breaky Bottom, the vineyard down in the beautiful South Downs in southern England, the first time they've released a Blanc de Noirs, a wine made purely from Pinot. I think is it Pinot Noir and possibly a bit of Meunier as well. I think this is wonderful. It's such a triumph. All of the sort of hedgerow fruits, bit of stone fruit that you'd hope for from a Blanc de Noir. There's black currant, there's a bit of blackberry possibly in there. It's still pretty zingy, really nicely mineral actually as well. And it has that sort of slight sort of bitter complexity that you get from Blanc de Noir, from those kind of stone fruit characters. It's just spectacular. It's definitely my favourite of the three 2018 releases from Breaky Bottom. Really Moorish and mouth-watering. So yeah, so when we talk about stone fruit, usually refers to sort of peaches and plums. Probably more on the sort of plummy side, and it actually has quite a nice hint of sweetness to it. It's definitely not cloyingly sweet. Nobody wants a cloyingly sweet sparkling wine, of course. All Breaky Bottom wines are always very zingy, and you know, if you're familiar with, say, champagne rather than English sparkling, your first sip of this you'll think, wow, that's really quite tart, it's really quite acidic. So you know, it's always kind of backed with very strong backbone of acidity. But in this particular case, this Blanc de Noirs, I think from that Pinot fruit, you get this really nice kind of sweetness, berry fruit character. Like I say, sort of black curranty, maybe plummy. Gives it a lovely fruitiness, lovely sort of freshness. Spectacular balance, really nice. A little bit of sugar, quite a lot of zing. And that stone fruit character expresses itself really nicely, I think. I received a fairly scathing bit of commentary on a previous video on this channel from somebody who was clearly irked by the fact that I had spent, what was it, 4 minutes and hadn't adequately described the wine that I was tasting on that particular occasion, and that it didn't really make the case for why you would go for that over some cheap supermarket plonk. Part of what I find exciting about it is that it represents the English countryside. For me, very evocative of country walks in autumn, looking at the sloes, the damsons, the bullaces, is it, the blackberries, all of those kind of things. Something that kind of gives you a very strong sense of where the wine actually came from. Fascinating that these grapes that are obviously not indigenous, the Pinot Noir and Pinot Meunier, when grown in an English climate, they somehow do express these very English flavours. I'm probably not the best advocate for English sparkling wine if you've never had it before, and if you're somehow jaded about the whole thing and you see wine as a sort of fungible commodity and it's all about price. But if you're somebody who's a little bit more open-minded and someone that, you know, enjoys the English countryside, then I think this is something really quite magical and really quite special, that you can drink something in broadly the champagne style, yet it evokes the senses of country walks in the South Downs or other parts of England. So anyway, people seem to love to hate this channel. I'm just going to do my thing anyway.